Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kristen and it is New Year's Eve and it is time for another bi-weekly makeup basket. I am filming in my new location but with my MacBook Pro because my camera is not functioning at the moment. It's brand new. I don't know what's going on with it, but hopefully I can get it replaced very soon. I am a little bit discombobulated with this makeup basket because I've been focusing on getting some projects started, planning goals for next year. So I picked out some things. I want to film a video about what I'm going to have in a everyday makeup drawer. That's something new that I'm going to try and do, that I'm going to have just random products in and that I'm trying to make progress on for the year, but not really in a project, not really in my makeup baskets. And then of course I have to film my 2017 makeup use up intro with the products that I've actually picked out to try and finish in the next coming year. So I'm not going to show you everything that I might be using in the next 2 weeks. I kind of just hit all the categories with the exception of probably lips, and I don't have mascara, brow products, or things like that. I kind of think those things are a little bit interchangeable, and there might be some things that I am working on at the current moment. To be honest, I haven't picked out any mascaras that I'm going to be working on. I am getting ready to get the last couple that I'm using out of my rotation right now. So the first thing I want to start off with is a couple of products from the last basket, and the first thing I wanted to mention is this L'Oreal Magic Nude Liquid Powder. This is in the shade Light Ivory. I had not mixed this up, and when I went to go pour this out, it was just all oil with no color to it at all. So once I mixed it up, I knew this was a liquid product, but this is very, very liquidy, and it doesn't give me really good coverage. So I'm not sure I'm going to keep this in my collection. I don't know if I'm going to get it out just yet. I think I want to give it a shot for some other different kinds of occasions, but definitely not a going to work foundation. I put this on and I ended up having to put my MAC Pro Longwear foundation over top of it because it just wasn't going to work for me going to work. So I'm not quite sure about this one yet. I had decided at first that I was going to declutter it, and I have a bit of a soft heart, and I don't know that I can do that just yet. So going to hang on to this for just a little bit longer, but might be decluttering this. A product that I'm definitely going to declutter is this Fox in a Box. I had kept it around because I wanted to mix the shades and get like a really nice nude shade, which it swatched really nice that way. As soon as I put this on my cheeks, it was just sheen. And it didn't look good. It combines too much with my bronzer. I felt like it ended up making me look very muddy. And because of how old this product is, how long I've had it, they don't even make these anymore, and the bulkiness of the packaging, I just decided it's not worth it to keep it around. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this blush. And I just wanted to make mention of the eyeshadow palette, the Urban Decay Vice palette that I used in the last makeup basket. I really focused on making sure I used every single shade from this palette, and I did use several of them several times. I do have a picture on my Instagram, and I'm getting ready to post another one of the final from using this for 2 weeks, but I put a little dot on the shades as I use them. One, to ensure that I used all of them, and two, to see which ones I was really using repetitively. You can kind of think back and remember the ones that you used quite frequently, but like in the future, you may not remember like how often you use each shade. So I'm doing that for documenting purposes, and I was able to use several of these shades several times. Today I am wearing this shade right here in Junkie, as well as Nevermind and Echo Beach, and I love this eyeshadow look. I wore this on Christmas, and I really, really love this look. So I got a lot of good use out of this palette, and I really do enjoy this palette. So that is it for my thoughts on things from the last basket. I'm going to go ahead and get into products that I'm going to use in the next 2 weeks, and we'll start with foundation. I do have foundations that I want to work on this year, but again, I'm not going to mention those because those will come in another video of some type at some time. So the first thing I wanted to pull was this Maybelline Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation, which is very similar to the L'Oreal Magic Nude that I just showed you. Both of these products are discontinued, I believe. This actually has a little bit of a thicker texture to it on application and when you put it on the back of your hand. Another thing that I really like about this product that the Magic Nude does not have is this has an applicator. This is a little bit more like a dropper, like a teardrop thing. It doesn't have any squeeziness to it or anything. It's not like it's a dropper, but it will drop off the bottom of that teardrop thing there. I really like the consistency of this versus the Magic Nude. Even though they're both supposed to perform very similar. So we'll see how I like the coverage on this. I haven't used this at all, so I'm really excited to use this and see how I feel about this. Another oldie but goodie favorite for me is this Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. This is really old. I don't know if they have reformulated this. It seems very, very thick in here, so I don't know if this product has gone off, but I look forward to using this. This is in the shade number 30. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if this color matches me right now, but I think this was like my non-tanning shade, so I'm going to go ahead and use this in the next 2 weeks and see how I feel about this. My goal for continuing to use different foundations is to, like, on the spot declutter things, which didn't exactly work out with the L'Oreal. I thought I was going to. Maybe I need to be a little bit harsher, but I have so many foundations that I need to weed out of my collection. I'm never going to finish them all. Not all of them work for me. Not all of them are even my shade. So I need to go through those. So that's the reason why I'm picking additional foundations to the ones that I'm actually using on a regular basis. As far as powders go, I did just finish my NARS All Day Luminous, so I am moving on to the Urban Decay Naked Medium Light Naked Ultra Skin Definition Press Finishing Powder, and this matches me really, really well right now. Works really, really great for me. So this is what this looks like, and I hope to finish this year for sure. And I just repressed my MAC C4 Studio Fix Foundation, and this is really, really warm toned. I know it looks really yellow on here, but natural lighting, it looks really, really warm toned. And this was when I was tanning. It wasn't quite working for me. It crumbled. It's been sitting in a little pot for this entire year as a like crushed powder, and I haven't used it at all. So I repressed it last night in an effort to try and use this up. I don't know if it'll work for me or not. I'm wearing it today, but I'm not quite sure. It looks great in person. But I want to try and at least hit pan on that again, and then maybe I'll decide whether I want to get rid of it, but I definitely want to make a little more progress. As far as bronzers go, I have a couple of them that I want to try and hit pan on this year. One of them is another Too Faced Mini in the Sun Bunny. I didn't pull that out because that is going to be in either my project or my everyday makeup basket. So is this, but I did happen to pull it out because, you know, I wanted to use it in the next 2 weeks anyways as part of my actual basket. This is the Kardashian Cabana Bronze, and this is 520 Cabana Bronze. I really enjoy this. It's really, really nice and cool toned, and I think this really looks nice on my cheeks. So I do have a goal of hitting pan on this year. It is a really large bronzer. As you can see, it's like my whole hand there. So there's that. And I also pulled this Maybelline Master Highlight by Face Studio in Deep Bronze. Not sure how I feel about this, but I definitely show some use on it. So I just wanted to remind myself of how I feel about this and declutter it if I don't like it. So I pulled that. As far as blushes go, I have this Narcissist palette, and this is in the Unfiltered number 2. Hi! And so this is what this looks like. I really, really, really wanted to use this shade right here in Hot Sand. This is actually a highlight though. But I wanted to try this palette out and see how I feel about this palette. And I pulled some other blush shades as well. The first one is this NYX blush in Bourjois Pig. This is obviously really old. This is their old packaging. I got a lot of use out of this a long time ago, and I wanted to see if I still felt the same way about this, or if this is something I might want to declutter. I also pulled this Milani powder blush in the shade Love Potion. I wasn't terribly thrilled by the Tea Rose one that I pulled, so I wanted to see how I feel about this one. I haven't opened this one either, just like I hadn't opened that one, and I feel like maybe these two shades right here, although looking at them on camera, not as much as I thought in person, might be pretty similar to each other, so I thought maybe I could declutter one or the other. And then only because I just decluttered my Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush in Hot Tamale, I wanted to go ahead and pull this other one I have in Peach Satin and just see if this is something that I would want to keep or declutter. The only reason why I decluttered the other one is because I feel like it's really similar to my Becca Beach Tint Shimmer Souffle, and they're both cream products. I don't do really well with cream products, so I'm trying to minimize my cream products that I have, to try and finish up. So we'll see how I feel about that. As far as highlights go, I did want to use that Hot Sand in the Narcissus palette. I do have a couple that I want to try and use this year and finish up. One is a mini that is close to being finished, and then I have another palette that I want to work on. So I'll show you that in my 2017 makeup use up goals. But I pulled this, let me show you this first. This is the Essence Twilight Breaking Dawn. This is in Bella's Secret. This is a little more on the gold side of things. And I really haven't used this much, so I did drop it and it shattered on the side a little bit. I just wanted to give this a shot, and I don't know that this is something I would be able to part with because it's a Twilight product. That's the whole reason why I bought it to begin with, but if it doesn't work for me, I need to be getting things out of my collection. So there's that. And I pulled this out. I was looking through some single eyeshadow shades, and I happened to come across this White Gold Mousse Eyeshadow by City Color. And this is a really gorgeous thing. It's like a cream product, and you can use this as a highlighter. So I kind of wanted to play around with this in different ways, primarily as a liquid highlighter. So I'm going to play around with that in the next 2 weeks. And then as far as eyeshadows go, I'll show you some single stuff first, and then I'll go with the palettes that I'm going to be using. So one of the first things I have is this really old Estee Lauder Duo. I've kept this around for a very long time. This shade is not very pigmented, but it's very close to hitting pan, so I thought maybe I could hit pan on that, and I might try to, but I don't know if it's worth it. What swatches really nicely is this purple. But it's definitely a very thin, powdery formula, but I really like the way that looks on the skin, so I really wanted to give this a shot and see how I feel about it on the eye with a primer or something like that, and just see if not, this is something I'm going to consider decluttering or going to declutter. I almost decluttered this on the spot last night. This is the Pacifica Natural Beauty in Duo 2. This is a really shimmery white kind of gold, very similar to the City Color liquid. And then this purple has this really beautiful like shift to it. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. So when I put it on my skin, it's very sheer, but you can build it up, and it's got this like really cool sheen to it. And I'll go ahead and swatch this too so you can see that. So I thought maybe I would just give this a shot before I went ahead and decluttered this. This shade in Dolce by Milani is like their Bella Shadows, but they didn't call it Bella Dolce. This was a limited edition that came out. And this is a really gorgeous, but very, very glittery, has a lot of fallout. This is a gorgeous rose gold shade. So I wanted to play around with this in the next 2 weeks. And also this Essence Metal Glam eyeshadow. I don't even know if they make these anymore. This is in Frosted Apple. And this is really, really super gorgeous. You can see around the edges there's a lot of glitter overspray that I've worn off. But this is still a really gorgeous, gorgeous kind of pinky red glittery shade. It's super, super pretty for the lid. So I wanted to try and use that. I am doing a Pan That palette on the Naked palette. So I'm going to try and be really careful about how much I pull for eyeshadows because I really do want to make good progress on that this year. I think those shades compare really well as far as lid shades and things like that, so I don't have a problem with pulling those. And I am still going to pull palettes, but I don't know how difficult it's going to get, so we'll see. But if you remember, I have been going brand by brand and picking palettes each makeup basket from those brands. I wanted to do, currently I'm doing Urban Decay, and I wanted to pull these Wizard of Oz palettes. The first one I pulled out was this Oz Great and Powerful. This is in the Theodora palette, and the issue that I have with this palette is that it is all really dark brown shades, so I didn't figure that I could do this particular one by itself. And of course the Naked palette has some shades that are very similar to this, so combining this with the Naked palette really I didn't feel was going to work that well. So I went ahead and did pull the other palette, which is the Glinda palette. And this is what the Glinda palette looks like. So you got a pink, a white, a cream shade, and this purple. So I'm going to use these two palettes in the next 2 weeks and try to use the Naked palette as much as possible in combination with these. These also have some eyeliners in there. I'm not going to use them, at least for now. So those are going to be my eyeshadow palettes for the next 2 weeks. So that is it for my makeup basket. As far as lip products, I am currently using the shade that I'm wearing right here, which is a Maybelline Color Whisper in the shade Pink Possibilities. I am using the MAC See-Through Lip Glass, and I am using the L'Oreal shade in, I think, Frida's Nude. So my goal with lip products this year is to have one easy to use shade, one gloss, and one more difficult to use shade at all times. And I'm going to try and pan them that way. It may still take me time. I guess I could switch them out if I get sick of them because I'm going to be using those same 3 products repeatedly until I finish them. So I do have some ideas in mind to have some lip colors in my everyday makeup basket that I can use to switch things up with. So I probably won't be pulling lip products in baskets. I'm just going to have some everyday makeup drawer ones, and maybe I'll swap those out in my everyday makeup drawer. So let me know what you guys think. Give me some ideas on how to manage my baskets, manage my everyday makeup drawer. How often should I switch that out? Those kinds of things. Just give me ideas. I don't know what I'm going to go with yet. So thank you guys so much for watching, and look out for a video that I'm going to be posting tomorrow on a collab that we're starting with 20 ladies here on YouTube. I'm going to try and get this video up this afternoon, New Year's Eve, so that I can post that video tomorrow. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.